Right. Let's see if we can...
Alright, so where we left off...
With your question, Jake, of what would I be able to do?
How would you defend yourself?
This reggae band, obviously, they have been practicing all their lives because they're going to be able to hit back the holy hand grenades with their instruments while still playing.
Okay.
And by the time the holy hand grenades are knocked back to the acapella group, they're just going to blow up. Destroyed by their own weapons.
Interesting. Okay. I think that answers my question.
Alright, so we, closing arguments now, I believe.
Yep.
Now, Craig is challenging you. You get to choose again. You want first argument or second argument?
I am going to take second argument.
Alright. So, we've heard that they're going to bat these grenades back at us.
Yes.
But that's not really in the reggae band mindset. Reggae is all about peace and love and harmony. They're not practicing how to attack other people with grenades being thrown at them. Also, jazz, reggae, two great styles of music. Put them together. It doesn't flow well. You can't have jazz hands and reggae. It's two separate worlds.
Done.
Keep my mouth shut. All right, Craig.
I'm ready.
Go.
Just because you haven't heard it before, it's going to be spectacular. It's going to blow all of the audience away. These judges are not going to have any choice but to award the reggae band the prize for winning the Battle of the Bands. There's no one that's going to be able to even come close to the spectacular amount of showmanship that they can put on. They've been practicing for this their entire lives.
Done.
All right.
Wow.
Craig?
Thank you very much for your arguments, gentlemen. We'll let you know when we're
Best of luck to you.
deliberating.
We're gonna need
so the chat, if you want to, okay, so we will. That's a good idea, Jim. We will do a summary before voting of what the arguments are essentially. So Mike has his college a cappella group, which had won the Game of Thrones challenge prior. The college a cappella group, there are 50 of them, armed with holy hand grenades, and are wearing rocket-powered roller skates. This is to win the Battle of the Bands, which of the two arguers for that. Craig's team is the reggae band with literal jazz hands that has no bones. Now, Mike was asked regarding the holy hand grenades and how the controversial nature of having weapons at a Battle of the Bands, saying that it's only for if they start to lose. Craig then countered that the reggae band would be able to deflect said holy hand grenades, and in fact that the no bones is no longer a hindrance because they have since seen treatment with artificial bone implants, thus making the no bones no longer an issue. Jake.
Yep.
Is there anything that I missed?
I think that's pretty accurate.
All right. Thoughts?
I think personally, Craig's little story about metal in the bones or whatever he was saying.
You don't think it flies?
It doesn't fly with me.
Okay.
I think they have no bones, and that's a strength of theirs. And he did himself a disservice by arguing against that. I personally think the a cappella group has it here.
I agree.
I think there could be opportunity for distrust and disorganization within the group, but if this was a literal battle of the bands,
I was gonna say I'm surprised that Cavs didn't. I'm very surprised that Cavs did not lean heavier into the holy hand grenade, being again for the battle aspect of the battle.
Literal battle of the bands.
So I'm very surprised that he did not make that argument.
Do we hold that against him, or is the concept strong enough?
The concept, I mean, it's there. It's literally right there. In fact,
right.
We did address them having.
That's true. Yeah.
He tried to downplay it. So I think we're ready. Jim is in agreement with us on this one.
Okay, good.
Jim is also currently the only person that is chatting in turn that I can tell.
Even better.
So currently the only third opinion. So I think we're ready to call them back in.
All right. Come on in, boys. I'll go get them. They're having too good a time without us.
So Connor's phone was dying, and so is not able to watch at the moment. He is out with visiting his girlfriend's parents. I don't know if they're on the way back or if he's still in Sacramento for the Thanksgiving holiday and weekend. So either way, he was able to hop in for that quick little bit, but he's no longer watching. And I know we're talking about Rodriguez for Mike, so I don't know where he is. That's a good question, Jim. I guess I can get on him. But
so,
we'll find
the results.
The acapella group has it.
I am so blown out of the... I'm just...
Right.
All right.
It's as if I've been hit by a holy hand grenade.
Alright, I'm gonna go run to the bathroom real quick.
So this will be the discard pile.
All right.
For those.
Who's that? No, that's not. Don't you hold on to your other two, or are we getting 3 new ones every time?
Oh, that's a good idea. We can do that. Okay.
I mean, I don't know how we do it.
Yeah, sure, we can do that. All right, so you keep those ones. So the challenge this time, log rolling.
Log rolling.
Oh, it's a rough one.
Who is
I've got
best?
my arguments building already, though.
I know you do. You are a monster at this game. We specifically wait to play this game until you came. Oh no. Hold it. So this one. So speaking of Mike Rodriguez.
Oh, I'm not gonna look. I don't want to.
Yeah.
I don't want to spoil the surprise.
Okay. Hopefully that came up and was not backwards because. Okay, yeah, that came up well. Anyway, log rolling. I think I have my super fighter.
All right.
All right.
Let's see the reveal.
So, in the challenge of log rolling against the 50-person college a cappella group armed with holy hand grenades wearing rocket-powered roller skates, I offer a sumo wrestler with super endurance.
Interesting.
And screams names of attacks before using them.
My college a cappella group relies on sonar to see.
How you feeling there, Mike?
I feel great. I love this. I am ready.
I would like you to begin.
Do we want to wait for Jake?
We do need to wait for Jake.
But I am ready. Oh, this is going to be good.
This is going to be good. This is going to be a good one. Did Jake say where he was going?
I think he went to the bathroom.
Oh, okay. In the meantime, I think I'll take this chance to go and message Mr. Mike Rodriguez.
Tell him to get his ass in here.
Yeah.
How many viewers we have?
Last I checked was 4.
Nice. We're famous.
Fight.
I should be a professional streamer. I'd be great
right?
at it. I would be awful at it.
I couldn't keep it going.
Judging layers. Okay, so I just sent a text to some of those guys. And let me get back to the Twitch chat thing. Cool.
Discard those for me, please. Those were from the last.
So we're doing.
round.
We're gonna.
I mean, do we want to discard them and get new ones so that we have fresh
Oh, we
ones?
just
or
hold on
do we
to
wanna-
them.
Let's
that
hold
we
on to
don't
these
use?
ones.
Hold on to 'em?
You'll be getting new ones anyway.
I mean, I'm not gonna have to play any new ones, so it's not gonna be a big deal for me.
Cool.
It only matters for you guys.
Jake, you're in for a treat for judging.
God.
we
So
got a good
log
one.
rolling.
Oh,
You-
I'm spilling everywhere.
Yeah. So the college a cappella group now relies on sonar to see.
I am so ready for this.
And are facing down a sumo wrestler with super endurance that screams names of attacks before using them.
Oh my god. Sumo wrestler, super endurance. Wow.
Okay.
So wait, what's the challenge?
Log rolling.
Log.
All right,
So random.
Mike, if you would like to begin your arguments.
All right. So, relying on sonar to see. I know Nick's gonna dig into me on that one because it seems like a weakness. But when you've got an a cappella group who's able to sing at all sorts of different pitches, all together in unison, who's practiced at doing that, you're able to do it. It's not a detriment at all. You ever see Daredevil? It's exactly that. Now, moving on. Log rolling. We've already got the rocket-powered roller skates. We don't need a super endurance. We can just push. We can just hold on to the log and let the rocket-powered roller skates do the work. And, not to mention, there's 50 of us. There's one sumo wrestler. There are 50 rocket-powered roller skates. I'm going to roll that log faster, farther, and we're not going to get tired because we don't have to do any of the work. We're just holding our arms out as the rocket skates do the work for us. And we're relying on sonar to see. We got the hearing. We're listening. So we know what you're doing with your yelling the names of your attack before you do it. We know as you're doing it. And we're so in tune with the listening, with the hearing, because we have to rely on the sonar. Oh, I'm over a minute.
Yeah.
I'll save that for closing arguments.
All right.
Cool.
Now, let's, if you may, start the timer for me.
Go.
Now, log rolling requires a mastery of your endurance and control of the log against your opponent, or in this case, opponents. This is something that the sumo wrestler is a master at, of using your component's weight and body against them to turn the tide and basically, just push them out. This is just it's still the same kind of sport, just in a different way. The objective and the way that they do it is still very similar, of using the opponent against them to get out of the arena, in this case off the log. The super endurance helps keep the sumo wrestler able to keep going for as long as he needs to. And screaming the names of attacks, come on. This is still, just picture E. Honda here. Do you expect him to do anything other than that? Okay, that's just a character trait. And just get ready for his big Buddha slam.
Sorry, that's it.
All right. Questions?
I welcome them.
Alright. This water tastes weird.
Great question.
Well, you had orange soda
That's
in
probably
that.
it. So my question's going to be for Mike first.
Yes.
Will a group of college students who are in an a cappella group be able to push and roll a log? And will their rocket-powered roller skates really be that much?
So, just to confirm, the log rolling competition it's the log
Is on
with
water.
That
and
is not what I was thinking when I made my argument, but I can pivot.
Well, I mean, this is how actual log rolling competitions are, where it's like the one
All right.
person
I can-
on each side. Yeah, because you're trying to knock the other person off the log.
All right. So,
That's actually
I'll pivot,
what the log rolling.
we'll pivot. We'll make it work.
Okay, I did not know that.
Yes.
Yeah, I was thinking
No,
pushing a log and rolling.
Don't ask me how I know that, but I'm actually.
No, I believe it.
Okay.
And Jim
So-
agrees.
So, now that
Jim
you say that,
agrees, yeah.
it sounds right. So you can ask a different question if you'd like.
I'm going to switch to Nixon while I
Sure.
take in this new information about log rolling that I never knew. So how would a sumo wrestler
Yes.
defend against 50 opponents at once?
Well, first of all, 50 opponents on the same log. I mean, sumo wrestlers are big, but they aren't 50 people in one body big. So the amount of a cappella people on this is already going to be a detriment to start with.
All right.
And the roller skates at that also do not provide good traction, so they won't be spinning the log. They'll just kind of launch themselves off the log.
All right, that's my question. Your turn, Craig.
Tell me how you're going to be able to use these holy hand grenades to stop.
Well, again,
stop the sumo wrestler from knocking you off.
This is very reminiscent of the last one. It's an insurance policy, but this time we don't even need to pull the pin on it, because if you've got 50 people, all with holy hand grenades, just throwing them like a rock at him. 50 of those coming at the guy, it's going to throw him off balance. He's going to have to either try to dodge out of the way, or they're all going to hit him and knock him over anyway, because he's going to be getting hit in the face and the body with all of these holy hand grenades. I don't need to blow this sumo wrestler out. This poor guy who has done nothing wrong except get into a log rolling contest against someone who he clearly cannot beat. So I'm not going to kill him, but I'm going to knock him off with the holy hand grenades.
If I may actually have a rebuttal to that specific argument, is that allowed? It's a very quick thing.
I would say you should save it for.
I can save it for
your
I
agree.
closing arguments.
All right. So now, you have a question for me, or Craig, do you have a question for me?
Question for you.
Yes.
How are you going to manage to balance 50 people on a log without
On one half of a log.
Well,
falling off constantly?
Well, clearly it's going to be a very big log. That's a given.
This is probably a sequoia.
But it's a very big log. So that gives us room to have our roller skates on it. And with all the rockets that are going to be going, we're going to have a lot of weight on that side. So we're going to have that traction to really spin the log. And so we're going to be going real quick with the roller skates. We're not going to have to run to keep up with it. We're just going to kind of sit there and let the log spin itself. So the sumo wrestler, even though he has the endurance, isn't going to be quick enough, because sumo wrestlers are not known for their speed. He's not going to be quick enough to keep up with the spinning of the log that is spun by the rocket-powered roller skates. So he's going to end up falling off. Make sense?
I'm not the one that you're trying to convince.
But you are.
All right,
I need to convince you that you're wrong.
What's the purpose of yelling out the names of your attacks? How is that going to make you win?
This is just my signature personality thing. Like, kind of like how professional wrestlers have their personas. This is my sumo wrestler's part of his persona of he announces his attacks. You see this in shonen animes. Not all the time, but it's still more often than in other media. And the sumo wrestler comes from I don't want to say the same, like necessarily the exact same part of that culture, but it comes from a love. Exactly, that's what I'm saying. There's more than likely some overlap there, and it comes from probably this. My sumo wrestler has a love for the shonen anime genre, and so he's kind of like just emulating that, and it's part of his, like I said, his persona to win the crowd over.
I see. All right, thank you.
All right, closing remarks?
All right.
I would like to start.
Okay. Begin.
Okay, so first of all, the whole concept of throwing the holy hand grenades at me, like rocks, as you said, I believe. These, dude, I am just... the sumo wrestlers are so big, they're just going to bounce off of me.
Thick with 2 C's.
Dude, 2 C's? Think 6 C's. And secondly, like I said earlier, the rocket skates will not be able to spin the log. They'll simply launch you off of the log.
All right. 30 seconds. Start.
Well, I don't see why you say it would necessarily launch me off the log. If we have, say, some nice treaded wheels on the roller skates, we can get plenty of traction on that to get it spinning. It doesn't say we have to use normal roller skating wheels. And if you're announcing the name of your attack, while it is badass, it's going to be a detriment to you. We're going to be able to anticipate. If you're, say, running, you're like, slow down attack! And you try to go backwards. We're gonna know what you're doing. We could power down the roller skates a little bit, or
Sorry, but
no, I.
You're done. All right.
All right, Nick.
Let's deliberate.
good.
All right. Well, so we will. Actually, I want to switch the so we can see the chat. Actually, you got the chat on?
I do.
Okay, so we'll summarize because that's just to catch everyone up who's watching. If there is anyone out there.
Oh,
in summary,
we have a question from the viewers. Jim would like to know if there are 50 people in the acapella group. Does the whole group need to stay on the log, or does only one person need to stay on?
So I think I'm personally of the mindset that one person has to be on the log to win.
I see.
Everyone else can fall off as long as there's one last standing survivor and the sumo wrestler is down. The acapella group wins as a whole. That's my take.
I agree. I agree. I think that's a great point.
So we'll go with that. Jim, if you have any other thoughts, let us know.
Definitely.
But yeah, so in summary, we got Mike's. So the competition is log rolling. So you're on two people are on a log, and they're trying to stay balanced, push the other person off. I don't know if pushing is part of it or if it's just.
I believe it's just on opposite sides.
So
the log is
sides.
rolling.
You're just trying to keep on the log, stay balanced. And Mike is a group of college kids who are in an a cappella band, and they're armed with holy hand grenades. There's 50 of them. They're wearing rocket-powered roller skates, and they rely on sonar to see. And so his argument was mostly that with the roller skates on that are rocket-powered, they can just sort of flick on that switch, and they'll just keep balanced that way and roll the sumo wrestler off, who will be too slow to stay on, essentially. And then Nick had the sumo wrestler with super endurance, and there screams his attacks whenever he's about to make one. And I mean, his is pretty standard. He's a sumo wrestler who has super endurance, so it's going to be pretty easy for him to maintain position as they would in a normal sumo wrestling bout. And that's pretty much it. Well, do you have any other arguments you want to summarize?
So, I was actually looking at the super endurance part of the sumo wrestler, so I think that would do a lot with preventing the holy hand grenades from knocking him off. Because, and especially he would be able to keep up his movement on the log a lot easier than them. Perhaps, although they're able to keep these rocket-powered
roller skates
going, I don't know how long they would be able to keep them all on the log at the same time. And I was also looking at the sonar hearing to be able to tell where they are, and I don't know if they would be able to tell if the sumo wrestler is constantly shouting attacks.
That's
sumo
true.
Wrestlers are able to shout extraordinarily loud, and I think that could possibly throw them off from being able to tell exactly where they are.
That is true. Yeah, I think that's a good point. I think I could totally see an a cappella group using sonar to see. I don't think that would be a problem for them, but if he was yelling out his attacks, that might actually be in his favor to distract them from the twirling. But so I'm
However, all of that aside, actually, not aside, keeping that all in mind, I'm actually still leaning towards the a cappella group.
Really? You're leaning towards the a cappella group. I'm the opposite.
Really?
Because I think they're a bunch of college kids. They're in an a cappella group. They have no coordination whatsoever, at least as what we can tell on this card. So there's just 50, I imagine, gangly college kids trying to balance on a log that's spinning God knows how fast against a sumo wrestler who's trained in poise and positioning and weight balancing. Like, to me, they would be able to stay on the log with ease. Or not they, but the sumo wrestler, compared to a bunch of people all trying to stay on the same log. Unless they could use the strategy of 49 of them just jump off immediately and leave their best person to fight the sumo wrestler.
This is interesting.
Unless they think power and numbers. I don't know. I don't know what strategy you would use, but
yeah, Jim's been weighing in on us, and he goes. He was actually Team Sumo as well. but only if one person needed to stay on with the Rockets. It's actually tough. He's still Team Sumo, though, because of the super endurance. He thinks the acapella group would have a hard time adjusting to going up against a sumo wrestler.
I agree. I agree. I mean, what is your...
That's actually a great point. I don't think you could just throw an acapella group into a log rolling competition and have them be able to adjust. Yeah, I think sumo wrestlers actually got this one.
All right,
I think he's talking about the poise and the training actually did it for me.
All right.
So I think we're all set. All right, thanks Jim for helping us out.
Yeah, thanks Jim. Thanks for the commentary. All right, boys. Come back.
That was wild. That felt like
that was quite a debate.
We had some debating to do.
That was
quite a debate.
Discuss.
Okay. I will not look at the chat, so I will not know.
Yeah.
So ultimately, I'll give you this. Craig was leaning toward acapella. I was leaning toward sumo, and I think ultimately, after some discussion, we've decided to pick the sumo wrestler.
Quit. You guys.
Jim also sided with the sumo side.
Thank you, Jim.
Jim, I'm disappointed.
We actually, super endurance was a big part of choosing why.
See,
but
I feel like it was like
I don't even have to work.
Explaining enough. That's why I didn't focus too much on it. You know, I addressed it, but all right.
We also didn't think the acapella group would be able to just quickly adjust to being able to be on a log.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, it's just like any of the other team building games you're gonna do it. Have you ever been on a college campus in any sort of group whatsoever? Team building exercises are all the rage.
They really are. And acapella groups probably even more.
I didn't have time to bring that up. I ran over on both of my argument times.
All right. So.
Good game, Nick.
Yes, agreed. Good arguments.
So, do you want to keep playing this? Do one more round maybe, and then we'll...
One more time around?
One round with everybody, and then we'll switch to a different game?
Yeah. Do we want to keep it at the same time?
We got a lot of them.
Same time limit, or do we want to go
do
down
want
to
speed it up?
I mean, what do you guys think? I think
the minute and 30 is fine. We could do like a 40-20.
Yeah, I was going to say, once I said I'm like the 30-50, I'm like, that's way too short.
We could do like a 40-20.
40-20 I think could work.
I think that's...
Maybe 40-20.
Yeah. 40-20?
420.
420.
Yeah.
Nice.
Boo, boo, boo.
Oh, there's the candle.
I need to get out my weeds.
Oh my god.
Pizza scented.
Dude, light it up.
Not yet. We saved that.
Oh, we gotta wait for your slice. You're right.
Alright, so.
Alright, Jake.
Let me...
So Jake, draw one of each to get back to 3 and 3.
Let me see what I'm getting, just so I've... Ooh.
Thumb wrestling.
Ooh.
I feel like I'm already at an advantage.
Wait, so I choose...
Viewers, we
so you choose
had a
one
favorite black
white,
card
one
come back
black.
into play.
Oh, I think I know what this one is.
I will share it with you guys as well.
That's
amazing.
It was one. I think my favorite part about that particular character, the one that made that infamous,
We'll show it.
can
we'll
kill
show
with a
chat.
kiss is the card. This was used to create an infamous character.
Craig, you son of a bitch.
It was actually my character, and the character was a femme fatale that could kill with a kiss.
Now, my favorite part of this was one of the descriptions that you used in one of your arguments that wasn't, if I remember correctly, was not a black card, but became canon anyway. Yeah.